Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys as usual. Cowboys Huddle, episode 4, with my man, Foots the King from Cowboys Nation TV.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Lots to talk about, man. Cowboys always staying in the news.
Too much to talk about, Joe. Too much. Great show today. We got a great show lined up.
Yeah, we got a lot packed in here. Let's get into it. Let's start off with... let's get into the Q&As here that we asked the guys from last week, and
okay,
and then we'll cover some of the topics here. So let me ask you one of these here. I got a question here from Izzy Prado.
Izzy, thank you for asking these questions. Izzy, shout out to you.
Absolutely. He's saying, let's talk D-line. Who starts?
Okay, Izzy. And Izzy, thank you just for showing us love. Thank you all the YouTubers for showing us love and just allowing me and Joe to entertain you guys and just valuing our opinion. Who starts? In Foot's world, I want Lee Collins at my 3. I like Joey Ivy a lot. But he probably won't start. I would like if Tyrone Crawford had the mentality. It's playing the 1 is definitely a mentality thing. I think he's big enough to play the 1. Probably not as aggressive, so it'll probably be Stephen Pia at the 1, and then on passing situations, maybe move David Irvin, mix match, do certain things. Early on, I still think it'll be DeMarcus Lawrence. He's in a contract year. But then, depending on how Taco plays in camp and how he grows, maybe Taco. And then at the left, it could be a Taco as well, and it could be a D-Law, or Tyrone at the left. So it could be a combination of all those situations. But if it was day 1 starting D-line, I'm saying Tyrone Crawford left, D-Law right, Lee Collins, and Pia, if it was me. And so, what do you think about that, Joe? That makes a lot of sense or not?
No, it does. It's actually kind of a weird thing the way the Cowboys have it. Like, it's almost like we don't necessarily have a starting lineup because Rod likes to keep it, likes to have that rotation. But
he is. So there's no start exactly. Like that question is a loaded one, Izzy, because there's no starting lineup. So. Who knows? So, Joe, question for you, rapid fire. Now that David Irving, this is from Joe Bassetta, another regular. Shout out to you, Joe. Now that David Irving is out a few weeks, how will this affect our defense? And then, Joe, he asked another one that I think you're gonna hit later in our big topics, but. He asked one about Dak and how will year 2 will he fold under pressure, and I guess you'll be able to hit that later.
Yeah, we'll hit that one later.
So yeah, we'll hit that one later. So just right now, with David Irvin being out for a few weeks, how will this affect our defense? Will it have a big effect? Will it not? What do you think, Joe?
I would say right now, as long as we stay healthy and get through, all these OTAs, minicamp, training camp, as long as we get through that healthy and no other injuries or suspensions, I think we'll be fine. Now,
okay.
If we get injuries or some other surprises, then yeah, it could hurt. But right now, I think they've done a good job with depth. We got the Montre Moore in the mix, the rookies, Carroll, Ivy, like I said, and Tyrone Crawford, these guys. So as long as nothing happens, I think we're okay right now. But we're definitely going to need him back when he gets back. Those first 4 games, you want to start the season strong, so it kind of does. It kind of does hurt us a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be something that's going to, affect us that bad.
I agree, and this defense and defensive line, while they may not be world beaters, is built on depth. So you thinking about a Tapper, you thinking about other people, yeah. Taco. People like to call Taco Charlton a David Irving clone. So, we'll see there, Joe. You got anything else for me?
No, I like that Tapper. Sometimes we forget about Tapper. That's a good one too. He's gonna be in that mix too.
Exactly. Maybe we'll hit Tapper later. So.
Yeah. Okay, so got one here from Brad Baker. Shout out to you, man. He's always on our channels here, replying, asking questions, and he's got one here about.
What's up, Brad?
He's got one here about. Let's see. He goes. We saw Robert Kraft stick up for Tom Brady during Deflategate. My question for both of you is: do you think it's time for Jerry speaks out publicly about how long Zeke's investigation is taking, and do you think it's starting to look like a witch hunt?
Brad, I think that is awesome, and I think it's a great question, and I think this is starting to sound like a Zeke hunt, more or less. Zeke is one of those young players, those young stars, who's really good for this league. Maybe in an inadvertent way, their investigation is good to just keep his name in tabloids. However, I agree. It's over. It's done. Now, Zeke doesn't help, with these situations, these little things that just keep popping up, Joe. You know what I mean?
I agree.
However, in this situation, all legal matters, from my understanding, have been taken care of. So it's just kind of like the NFL has this thing where they want to investigate. They want to be to the scene of the crime. It's almost like when the police does their investigation and the FBI comes and says, "Hey, boys, we can get behind the yellow and we can do this." You get what I'm saying, Joe? It's just like Roger Goodell. He does things so wacky, to say the least. So while I don't like it and it does feel like a witch hunt, it's Roger Goodell using his muscle and saying we're gonna investigate this to the fullest. So it's not cool, but the best way that Zeke can make all of this go away is Zeke, if it's not football, get out of it. You know what I mean? I know he couldn't help the car accident rather from last week, but it was, again, like I told you, Joe, it's just like it's starting to feel like it's always something.
Yeah.
And as talented as he is, he has to be smarter off the field. He's only 21, 22. So, I mean, my 22, 21-year-old self. But, they're giving a lot of money at this age. They're giving a lot of responsibility. So, only the strong survive. That's one thing that I like about Dak so much. He's so well-rounded, even in his age. He's so, he's been there, done that. I think that has to do a lot with his success. So, let's see. Kira McCoy asks you, Joe. She asks us. She asks the Cowboys Huddle. Thank you for watching, Kira. I think in a vacuum what her question is saying, she's so stoked about, what Jalen Smith has to offer, right? So, number one, Joe, if Jalen's not playing the middle linebacker position, if he's going to play weak first or if he's going to play middle. But let's just say, for this example, if he's going to play weak, who would you rather have at the middle? Would you rather have Sean Lee or Hitchens? I think I know your answer, but I want to hear it anyway.
It would have to be Sean Lee.
The general.
There. Yeah. I mean, he's just a playmaker when healthy, And then, so last season was his most healthy season. And, we saw him all over the field, sideline to sideline. And he wasn't even playing middle linebacker last season, and he was still getting there, sideline to sideline. So, he's just a playmaker all around. That's who I would put in the middle, if they shuffled some of these linebackers around. Eberflus is he's gonna test it out, He's gonna see, he's gonna get the best 3 linebackers on the field as possible. So it's possible, it could happen. What do you think, Coach? What do you think?
It's Lee. We're on the same page with that one, Joe. Hitchens, honestly, though, he's been serviceable.
Yeah, he has been.
But I just think his athletic ability stops at a certain place. He comes in, he's a thumper. Not really a sideline guy. And he's not quite as, Sean Lee is a thumper in his own way, but Sean Lee's, I think his best attribute is play recognition and just kind of just playing football the right way, while Jalen Smith is just a freak of nature athlete with the size, the speed, power as well. and like you said, sideline to sideline. So, clock to 4 or 5. And I think Hitchens is just limited, and that's okay. He's a good player and he's a good backup, but he's not like a special player. He's just a limited guy, but he can still play. He's still serviceable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be Sean Lee to me.
Totally.
Got any more, Joe? What you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. I think Hitchens has already peaked. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yes,
he is what he is. We know what he's going to give us and what he's not going to give us. So he's peaked out. But you got guys with upside like Wilson and Jalen Smith. So I mean, you got to get the best 3 out there somehow. So that could be a shuffle. There could be a shuffle there. We'll see what they do.
I agree.
All right, let's see what we get. What other questions we have here? Let's see. If we talk about, did we hit up on the Switz one yet? I don't think we did, right?
I don't think we hit Switz. We can hit that one, Joe.
Okay, let's do this one. So I got one here from Robert Cowles.
Thanks, Rob,
for
watching.
Yeah, shout out to you, man. He says, great having Q&A. I hear that Switz is getting extra reps due to slight injuries to Beasley and Whitehead. Whitehead has a hamstring issue. Can he be opening the door to a departure? And then, yeah. And then he's got another question here on Tapper, but we can, like the other one, we'll hit that one later. But, yeah, so what do you think, Flitz?
Listen. The Ryan Switzer thing is pretty much like for the underground Cowboys fans, what I call it's like those YouTubers, those people who dig deep. Even in the off season, we're looking for anything to read up on, to be about, and I love it. The Ryan Switzer train has left, and it's here, and it's arriving, and it's here, and it's again. I'll say it again. Scott Linehan is a very concise person. He doesn't mince words. So when he says things like, we would like to get these 2 on the field running routes together. We would like to do these things with Cole and Switzer. Yeah, I mean, most definitely, Lucky had a chance, and I don't know if he really. I think with Lucky, it was just like playing for the Cowboys was enough. It wasn't like maxing out his ability. It was just like, yeah, well, let me be on Snapchat, let me be a character, and that's cool. But then you get a guy like a Ryan Switzer who comes out of nowhere, and you can tell it's all football with Ryan Switzer. Like, then the extra stuff is cool, but he really just wants to play football. And I think with Lucky, I'm not one to call him and just say he was like an opportunist. But hey, long story short, yes, it could definitely mean the road could be coming to an end with Lucky, especially if some of these other receivers are worth keeping and can do things on special teams as well. So that's a long-winded answer, but yeah, you know what I mean, Joe? 100% yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally on board with everything you're saying there. It's just I think we knew even when we brought in McDuffie from the CFL, even the return game, we were already thinking, okay, this guy could knock him out, So you have Switz, and that's it, man. That's the nail in the coffin for me. So. Good question. Question.
I agree. I think that's it for the questions. I know a couple people said I got to upgrade my quality, Joe. Well, hey, listen, guys, we trying to make this happen, man. We're learning as we go, so just grow with us before you know it. I know I'm going to do some things and get my camera quality on the one, but we doing these sessions and we trying to get both of our faces seen. So it's. We learning, Joe, right?
Yeah, we're learning, man. This is a learning progress, and everybody enjoy the ride because this thing's just going to keep getting bigger for us. So,
right.
I mean, it's awesome having Foots on here, and yeah, you know what I mean?
I do, yo. Like, yeah, and I love that. I love that for sure.
I mean, you got 2 fans, man, YouTubers, and we're diehard. I mean, that's all we're doing is like, scouring the internet, watching everything, all kinds of news, and it's fun.
Yep.
Man. It's addictive.
Tapping into our sources, we texting each other all the time, getting like what we think, just getting different point of views. We don't agree all the time on everything, but that's cool too. Like, so,
yeah,
just a very organic situation for us. So again, just grow with us. Hey, Joe, I'm ready to hit some of these topics. What you think?
let's get into it, man. So this is serious. So cat mode time.
Hey, cat mode.
Let's do it. There we go.
I'm locked in cat mode. You can't leave me out this time, Joe.
You're in, man. All right, so we're going to cover a couple of topics here. I'm going to talk about one here for Tapper, but I want your input too. So let's talk about Charles Tapper, okay? So, he's getting, they're saying that he's got his speed here, and Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, they like him there. And, obviously he missed all of last season. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do, assuming he's over the back fracture. I mean, he has a lot of potential, and I think if they hit on this guy, this is going to be another Will McClay special, 4th-round guy. And they didn't really utilize him at Oklahoma how they intend to use him here in Dallas. So it's almost like a projection, almost. But Will McClay has an eye for talent, so you got to trust in that, too. So what do you think, man? Are you thinking Tapper's going to be something here for the Cowboys this season?
I think that he has everything the Cowboys like. Speed. If you go back to his Oklahoma days, the scouting report on him was that he was used out of position. They had him doing things that didn't really fit his skill set. Right. But I agree with you with him being a Will McClay special. Can get up the field. We just got to see him do it. You just got to see him put days and days and days together. I watched his interview the other day. He sounds like he's ready to work.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, all of these players, the opportunity will be there because there's no real clear-cut number one. We just did the question. There's no clear-cut number one at that right defensive end. He could play the left. I watched his interview and he was like, well, they're both the same. He's interchangeable. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you really locked in. So I'm going to need you to be locked in when you're going up against Tyron, when you're going against Lyle. I'm going to need you to make plays if you're talking like this. So, to me, Joe, it's so improved. We don't know enough about the prospect. He didn't put up the numbers in college that are it's not like it's a Randy Gregory situation. Like with Randy Gregory, you saw him do it in college, at a very, very elite level. With Tapper, it's just you see the traits, and I'm sure they're excited, but I got to see more. It's not even like Jalen Smith. You saw Jalen Smith make plays. It's on film. You just got to get him healthy. With Tapper, even with him being healthy, he still has to develop into something, for me.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point on him and Gregory. So, it's
two different. It's two different. It's levels,
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely levels. So, Joe, me and you were texting the other day, and it sure as hell is always something. So I'm going to speak on this one, Joe. Nolan Carroll obviously got the DUI. I don't know. I know they want to hear us talk, but I'm tired of talking about crap, Joe. Something with Zeke. It's David Irvin getting suspended. It's 2 years ago, Greg Hardy, and it's a crazy madhouse in Dallas. It's Dez. He used to always be something. I want this team, and while I don't think they're going to cut him, and I don't think they should, because depth-wise, we're so young at corner, and we just don't know what any of these guys can do. I think that it's a possibility now if one of these guys, these young corners step up, there's opportunities now, period.
Yeah. Now,
Scandrick's ass has to be healthy. But the problem, you know what I mean, Joe? It's just it's always something with Dallas. And I don't know if Nolan Carroll didn't realize, when you play with the Cowboys, if you're 1 point over the limit, they will report that. So that's me. It's stupid. You gotta hold your head. You gotta be when you with this franchise, Joe.
No, yeah.
It's not. What's your thoughts, Joe?
No, I agree, man. You're with the Cowboys. It's the elite franchise in all sports. You got the Cowboys, you got the Yankees, you got the Lakers. These are big franchises. You do something, you're in the spotlight, man. So it's This is something that should have been avoided. You know, I mean, they have these programs where they can be picked up, um, by somebody from the Cowboys or Uber or somebody. They have some kind of program in place for this kind of thing. So I don't know why he didn't use that service, but it might come back to bite him in the ass. I mean, I don't think they'll cut him either, but you know, the lights on him now. So I mean, he can't do anything else. He can't mess up. But
this wasn't smart.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing. Not good at all.
Wasn't smart at all. So.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Joe, I guess I'll take this one too, and I'll leave you with the last topic. Another one that me and Joe were texting about. Zeke is back at practice. So what does this mean? Well, it just means that Zeke's back at practice, and I'm not worried about Zeke on the football field. I think he's an alpha male athlete. I've constantly said on my videos on my channel, and I've talked to Joe about it. Zeke is a once in every 10-year type of player. I don't think any of the backs in this draft will be as good as Zeke and are as good as Zeke and just can pick up on the terminology. I mean, you think about how smart Zeke is. I know he acts like a retard, or I shouldn't say that word, but he acts stupid off the field and does dumb things. But if you're talking about football IQ, you're just talking about understanding the game, picking up blitz protection, understanding route combinations. Zeke knows how to run routes very well. Speed, knowing when to run somebody over, knowing when to make them miss. All of those things for him to be 21 years old. He's doing this against grown men. The only other player that I've seen that young do it that quick was Luke Kuechly, that I can remember, that I watched, and I just saw Luke Kuechly take over the league as a rookie. And then the next year, he was Defensive Player of the Year. Like, Zeke could very well be this year's offensive MVP. He's that good. And if he had been in the NFL, he probably would have ran for 2,000 yards just getting his body acclimated. So I'm not worried about Zeke on the field. I think they also do everything to protect his body in OTAs and training camp, Joe. They know we got a diamond in the rough. However, off the field, I'm like this because it's been always something, Joe, with all of this crap. So, but he's back in practice, so that's it. What do you think, Joe?
No, I agree, man. That's what's going to come out of these OTAs and practices. I think they're going to have like an unofficial alternating schedule with him just to keep the hits and keep his legs fresh. So I think fans need to prepare for that. He's not going to be out there grinding hardcore all the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And he's a freak, man. He's a freak in nature. I mean, he's one of these avatar type players, man. That they're just at another level. You know what I mean? There's only a few of these guys in the league, like you said. I mean, there's only a few of them, and I think he's at that level already. So he hit his stride like in game 3 or 4. He started turning it up. So yeah,
the Chicago game.
Yeah, he could have hit 2,000 if he would have, but he got limited by the hamstrings a little bit in training camp and preseason, that kind of thing. But he's good, man. He's gonna terrorize the NFC East. Well, I can't wait, man. I mean, these guys, they try to up their defense, but you can't game plan talent.
No.
You can't game plan talent, man. And that's the thing about Dak and Zeke. These guys are talented. They're good, man. They're going to do some good things for us.
I agree.
So let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about, speaking of Dak, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about year 2, okay? So, there's always this thing about, I think this is almost a cop-out, but people, especially, you know what I mean? Especially in mainstream media, they're like, teams have more film on Dak and sophomore slump and all this other stuff. And, he's not going to be able to do what he did last year to some of these teams in the NFC East. They played him twice. There's more film on him, that kind of thing. For me, I just don't buy it, man. The way Dak is, he's watching that same film. Yeah, the defenses, they're watching that film to try to dissect him, but Dak is a step ahead. He's studying those same films, how he can improve. So while they're watching film on him last year, he's watching that same film to improve himself to be a better version of last year. So I don't buy that whole notion for Dak. Obviously this does happen with other rookies, but Dak, I mean, he's just taking this job 100% serious, and I'm very excited to see what he does, man. I can't wait to see what he does. I'm just all the hard work and everything. I mean, we haven't had a quarterback like this in a while. Obviously, Romo, he did his thing here, but it's good to see Dak. He's going to put his stamp on this team. It's his now, 100%. It's all him.
I couldn't agree more, Joe. And I think you hit everything on the head. And just you think about, I think the difference between Dak and Romo is just like Dak just has the stuff, and while Tony has the playmaking ability, there's times I think Tony really overthought certain situations, and I think Dak will be prepared. Being a fourth rounder has a chip on his shoulder. Obviously, the situation with his mother. Another thing that's just often overlooked is how Dak grew up. He grew up in a trailer park. He just came from nothing, so he had to work extremely hard. Nothing was given to him. And it's something to be said about that. It really is. And I think he's just gonna work hard. Like, he knows what it takes. It's not overwhelming to him. Like, oh yeah, I'm the quarterback of the Cowboys, let me freeze. I think he relishes in it. He likes to play football. He likes to get physical. He's a bigger kid. Again, there's quarterbacks in the league with better arm talent, but I just think he has the heart and the stuff to just want to go out there and just bust your head open. Like, some players just built, some players aren't. Some players shrink, some players rise. I think he's one of those that rises. I don't see a sophomore slump. I think he's very well self-scouted, and I think he'll be fine. I really do. I really do, Joe.
Heck yeah, man. Good points. I think we're in total agreement. So all you guys, don't worry about anything. We're in good hands with that.
Right. We're in good hands with that, y'all. Don't listen to NFL Network or whatever. It's all season, so they're gonna dissect 20 different Cowboys topics a week. We got you covered here.
Yeah, so the best spot for the real discussion.
Yes,
the team inside and out. You know what it's all about, man. So another thing that we should probably hit up on is Richard Sherman.
Okay.
So the whole thing here that he wants to be in Dallas, or he wanted to be in Dallas, and that kind of thing. What's your overall thoughts on it? Was like, would you trade for him? What would you give up for him? Would you do a player for player, a pick for him, or just pass on the whole thing altogether? What do you think?
Me, Joe. The player, it's weird now with this Nolan Carroll crap and all that. Before I've seen this for like the past week.
Yeah.
With obviously the article coming out, and I'm sure where there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm pretty sure Sherman has mentioned it or brought it up. However, I don't think he would fit good in this locker room, just because he's so headstrong. And he has that type of mentality, and that make it rub off on Zeke. That make it rub off on Dak. You don't want to create that. In Dallas, everything is magnified. So, I would say no.
You think this?
I would just say no.
Yeah, no.
You
think his personality is
he's getting up in age, Joe. He's up in age.
That's true. That's what I talk about. 29. You're on the wrong side of the 20s.
Yeah. What about you? What you think?
Man, for me, like, I've had people ask me how come I haven't really commented on it much, and it's just, I just think it's one of those topics where it's like, it's going to be one of those very polarizing topics, right? Because, and it's like how we approach free agency. Every year, some fans want the big names. And you know how it is, the Cowboys are done with that. They're not going to do that anymore. And I almost think that this Richard Sherman thing is kind of like the same kind of deal, where a lot of fans, yeah, Richard Sherman, we want Richard Sherman. He can be in here, Legion of Boom 2.0, that kind of thing. But I just don't. I'm not so sure this is a Cowboys type of move. It might have been a couple years ago with Jerry Jones, but I mean, Will McClay and these guys, they're just so methodical on their roster moves. I mean, unless it's some kind of sweetheart deal where, you know, they just want to get rid of Sherman for something on the cheap or something, but I don't see those guys doing that. Those guys like draft picks up there, so I'm not sure.
They like the draft. They like the draft.
Yeah, so for me, I would pass on him. They did so well in the draft. You know, you don't want to stunt any of the growth of these guys.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Joe.
But that's where I'm at with it. But you know, let us know in the comments what you guys think. You know,
to us, y'all. Talk to us.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think about Richard Sherman. Does the age concern any of you guys? Honestly, realistically, and do you think this would realistically be like a Stephen Jones type of move? You know, I personally, I don't think it's something that Stephen would do, but you never know, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I think
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So, we got anything else we want to talk about, Flitz? Or I think we covered everything.
Nah, man. I'm gonna be picking back up on the position series. I'm gonna hit O-line on my channel. I'm gonna have that video either tomorrow or Thursday afternoon. I may do some finals coverage, some NBA finals on my channel. I might, just depending, because I know we're all sports fans, and that's what I'm gonna be watching next couple of days and just the next couple of weeks, however long it goes. So, and just support both channels, man. I know whenever I do my videos now, I plug you, Joe. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate this. We're gonna do this throughout the season, right, Joe?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna keep this going. This is gonna be a staple for all you guys. So you have Cowboys Huddle to come back and check us out. You know, definitely. I want all you guys on my channel to follow Foots over there at Cowboys Nation TV. I love the series that he's got going on here. The position groups. I love that. That's awesome. Check him out.
Man.
He's got a ton of content there. Diehard fan. And I think, diehards like us, there's a passion, you know what I mean? There's a deep passion there where you want to give good information to the fans, and that's what we bring. Cowboys Nation TV, and here at my channel, you're gonna get the best. And I think
100%.
Yeah.
100%, John.
All right, man. So that's it, everybody, for Cowboys Huddle episode 4.
Peace.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.